looking to want to use gloves. There is a proper way to kind of use gloves. It's important to wash your hands before you put them on and after you take them off. Okay, so this is a method that I use in testing and counseling, and then also when I am doing my prep clinic follow-ups. When you're removing your gloves, you want to turn them inside out. I wish I had like a glove to kind of demonstrate how you do it, but you want to remove it inside out. That way you won't be touching any areas on the outside that may be contaminated. This one is vitally important as well. Please, for the love of Mother Nature, Mother Earth, please properly dispose of your gloves and also your PPE. I'm very honest, I can't tell you how much it burns me up when I see like gloves and different masks laying around in the street. Please discard of them in the trash can when you're done with them. And so that's kind of like the tidbit we wanted to include on PPE. Another thing that is going to be important is be vigilant. Pay attention to your surroundings, especially in these times. I really wanted to go out to the candlelight visual they had for George Floyd on Sunday, but I didn't really feel comfortable going by myself. If you can, when you're going out and you're protesting, have someone go with you, at least let somebody know where you're going to be at. I didn't really feel comfortable, so I started to donate to different programs, bail funds, and different things like that as well. Also, it's important to maintain 6 feet of physical distance between you and others. It's important to maintain that distance between you and others, and then also making sure that you're wearing your mask over your mouth and nose to protect you and others, right? We want to prevent new cases of COVID-19, right? Let's talk about some things pertaining to the mind, where we at with our mental. One thing that's very important is to do check-ins. A lot of times I do check-ins with my gay children, as I call them. And yes, we do have those. Chosen family, shouts out to y'all. But I do check-ins with my folks. I do check-ins with my family. I do check-ins with my friend. One piece of advice, if someone is on your heart and it crosses your mind, it's a good time to just say, hey, you were on my mind. You've been on my heart. I just want to check in to see how are you doing. Are you in need of any support? Let me know how I can support you. A lot of times we often just assume and just give advice and just assume how someone needs support instead of asking. So check in with our community. Check in with friends, check in with family, check in with partners, especially check in for those who might be protesting, as well as participating in any uprising or rebellion in the city. So definitely check in on them. We want to talk about privileges a little bit more. Identify your privileges, own it, and condemn it. In terms of like when I think of oppression, I think of kind of like a pyramid, and certain people have privileges over others. And for me, trans are at the very bottom of the pyramid and they get the very worst of the treatment of everybody. I have privileges as a cisgender male. I have privileges of just being a man in general. So there are many privileges that we have, and it's important to own it. And then also, not only that, it's also important to acknowledge how you can stop being an oppressor to someone who may be on a lower spectrum of the pyramid, right? And the comment section is going on. I'm going to pause and take a look at some of the comments that we got going on. Welcome to everybody who is joining us. I appreciate everyone for tuning in and joining the conversation. I've been missing a lot while I've been talking, so I'm going to cruise back and just see what's happening. But y'all continue to definitely engage in the comment section, and we're just going to take a moment. I see someone has been taking a break from the news. It's too much to handle right now. I definitely understand that. I do feel like I'm definitely about to take a break from social media for a little bit. There's a lot of sharing of the news and different incidents, and it's a lot. I've been crying on and off for the past couple of days. So it's been a lot to handle, and you want to take care of yourself. So I definitely understand that. Is it Kevin National? I'm saying this wrong. I'm sorry, Kevin. Immersing myself in gay culture and gay people is self-care and survival. Touch it too late. Visibility is when my day aligns with my soul. Ooh. Prioritize your own health and well-being. Show up for you so that you can show up for others. Absolutely. What's up, Chi? What's going on, girl? Yes, exercise to get into your body and out of your mind. Ooh, that's a good one. Fill your cup to be able to continue to show up. Yes. One thing that I always tell people about filling your cup up is sometimes we give, and we take. We give, and we're not in the practice of giving to ourselves, and so we give so much until our cup is empty, and we're not able to give no more. So sometimes it's good to pause and replenish, so that your cup may overflow and you can continue to give. I'm always a firm believer when you give, you receive as well. And I'm just cruising the comments. Hey, everybody, this is joining. Any tips on staying hydrated at protests? How can we safely remove masks to drink water? That's interesting. I would say to safely remove a mask, if you're going to hydrate, I think it would be important to stay hydrated prior to a protest. So you need to be drinking your water prior to going down, especially on a day like today. I believe the highest is supposed to be around 95. So you need to already be hydrated when you go out. And it might be important to carry hand sanitizer so you can sanitize your hand. And if you need to take a water break, remove your mask for a moment, take a couple of sips of water until you feel like you're okay. Put your mask back on, and then you should be good to go from there. Hopefully you're able to access hand sanitizer. I know that's a hard thing to come by, and I know there are some recipes and different things online on how to make like your own hand sanitizer. The news and social media is depressing and reminds you of all the trauma you experience. Ooh. Don't I know that? I know that she. If you're finding that, it's good to take a break from the news and take a break from social media for your well-being. You don't want to keep triggering yourself. If that's what that's causing, you got to be able to take care of yourself. So when you're ready to kind of check back in about what's happening in current events, by all means do so. Getting a water bottle with a straw. That's what Marty from the Gram, suggested. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward. Kind of checked out and seen what everyone was talking about in the comment section. I appreciate y'all for engaging with me today. And so a lot of this is kind of segueing into some other notes that I had on my list of things to talk about is educate yourself on current events at your own pace. Education can look like reading a book, reading a magazine article, even looking into your history, because understand this isn't the first time this has happened. This isn't the first time that Black people have had uprisings. This isn't the first time that we have gone through a pandemic as a people. I think to kind of look at how we handle things in history might be important to kind of reference back to as well. Vogue magazine shared an essential anti-racist reading list, a recommendation, and we'll put that in the comment sections for you to check out to give you something to kind of chew on in terms of being an anti-racist. And another thing that's vitally important, and I swear by, is rest. Listen, I love a good nap. I love some sleep, but rest is going to be vitally important to everyone in this current time and period. Rest your voice, Your voice, your time, and your space is sacred. It's okay to take a break and recharge. The past few months and lifetime have been very heavy for some of us. Rest. It's important. It's okay. Rest. And so now we got a call to action. Mapping out your roles in a social change ecosystem can be challenging, but there are some roles provided by Deepa Ivor of the Solidarity is in building a movement project. Align yourself with what feels right and authentic. I was reading over this list earlier and I thought it was pretty dope. So there are a couple of things that she mentions in this. So we're going to start off with the waivers. So you see through lines of connectivity between people, places, organizations, ideas, and movements. Then we have people who are experimenters. So you invent, you become a pioneer, and you innovate. Then we have our frontline responders. You march, you organize resources, networks, messages. You have your visionaries, you imagine and you generate and implement the bold possibilities, hopes, and dreams. You remind us of our direction. Visionaries are very, very, very important. Hey, Claudia. Clarita. There are the builders. So the builders, they develop, they organize, and they implement practices and people. We have our caregivers. Your caregivers, they nurture and nourish the people around them by creating and sustaining a community of care, joy, and connection. We have our disruptors. So those are our people out here participating in rebellions and uprisings. You take uncomfortable and risky actions to shake up the status quo, to raise awareness, to build power. We have our healers. Shout out to my empaths out there. Please make sure you're taking care of yourself, healers out there. We need you. But this is definitely a prime example of taking care of yourself so you can show up for others and yourself. Shouts out to any mental health professionals out there too. Future social worker on the live. So I know they've been doing a lot of work. I believe even at Women Walker, like our number of appointments in terms of mental health services have increased. And previously, we have provided resources for mental health services as well. Feel free to reach out to us, and we can see if we can link you with any resources that you may need in terms of mental health, right? And so the healers you see, you tend to the generation and the current circumstances caused by oppressive systems, institutions, policies, and practices. Then we have my artists, gang. Shout out to all my artists in the live. There's nothing like being a storyteller. You create and you share community stories, cultures, experiences, histories, and possibilities through art, music, media, and movement. And then finally, we have the guides. You teach, you counsel, and you advise using gifts of well-earned discernment and wisdom. Then we're going to post something else in the comments about buildingthemovement.org so you can get some more information on how you can show up and your call to action in different roles and areas that you might feel comfortable. I've been seeing a lot of different critiques of how people show up. And for me, I'm not more so concerned about, I guess, some of the methods that people choose to show up, because there are many different ways that you can show up to show your support, right? I just feel proud that people are still fighting and people are motivated to join the fight and liberation. Like, it's such an honor to know a lot of people who are on the front lines, who are donating, who are doing different things to help this movement. And that's one of the things I'm honestly proud about. It's beautiful. And so let me take a look at the comment section, see what we got going on. Thanks everyone for sticking around and joining this conversation with me today. Okay, also ask myself how I can show radical love to my Black queer family right now. Yes. Okay. So in terms of the hydrating question during the protest, we have a comment that says, if you need to hydrate while demonstrating, clean your hands for 20 seconds before touching your mask. Handle your mask by the ear loops. Do not touch the parts that cover your mask and the nose. Absolutely. Taking time for yourself is self-preservation. Ow. That is really powerful. Thank you for that one. All right, so now we about to wrap on up. And so we just want to let you know, wherever you align, we need you, we value you, we see you. You matter, you are valuable, you are worthy. And just remember that. You are a flower, you are a rose. Just to kind of add to it, like, you deserve to be treated with care and love. So just remember that as we go on about our days. Remember that Black Lives Matter, and when you say Black Lives Matters, you mean all lives matters. All Black lives matters. All Black lives matters, and that includes trans lives, Black trans lives. And so I guess I'm signing off, y'all. Thank y'all for indulging in the conversation with me. And we hope to see you soon in some of the other discussions that we'll be having on our live videos. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And I guess that's it for today. All right, y'all. Have a great day.